Welcome to SQL Server 2008 News Hour. I'm your host, Buck Woody, Microsoft's real-world DBA, here with another report on a SQL Server feature in 2008 R2. Tonight we're joined by our intrepid field reporter, Erica, who's interviewed another SQL Server expert to find out about this great new set of features. Erica?
Thank you, Buck. I'm here on Microsoft's main campus with Julie Strauss from the Analysis Services team. Julie, thank you for being with us today.
You're quite welcome.
Now, I hear you've been working on some exciting things on the Analysis Services team, specifically a new set of technologies called PowerPivot for Excel. Can you tell me more about that?
I sure can. So PowerPivot for Excel is a new set of technologies that enable users to do self-service analysis, which we really think will change how the market think of BI. And not just how we think of BI, but also how we do BI and who can actually do BI. So in essence, PowerPivot allow Excel power users to build their own BI solutions directly in kind of the Excel-like environment, and then publish these solutions to SharePoint where they can be administered and provisioned by IT.
Now, why would Excel users want to do that?
Well, that's a good question. There's actually a lot of reasons, but let me try and give you an example. So let's say I'm the sales manager for sales of hiking equipment in Washington State. Now, I want to analyze my sales. Now, either IT would have built reports for me that I can go access, or I can potentially myself access a data warehouse where I have my sales data. So that's all good. Let's say I can see my sales have decreased 2%. Is that good or bad? What I really want to know is, how is the general industry doing? So how is my sale doing compared to industry trends? To do this, I need industry trends data, right? It does not belong in my data warehouse. It's not in there. So I can go out on the internet, find this type of data, and want to do analysis. But I can kind of not get it there. It's not a part of my analysis. So with PowerPivot for Excel, I can take this data, I can import kind of the data from my sales data warehouse and mash that up with what I call my personal data. So data I have from the internet, data I have in Word or Excel, and I can start doing that analysis right there on the fly. Basically what happens is I'm building a model behind the scenes.
Now, if I'm an Excel user, what about, do I need to know a lot of complex concepts?
You don't. So the assumption actually is that an Excel user would know how to build a model. Just technically that's what happens, but we do that behind the scenes. So we try and take all that complexity out. So let's say, for example, the first time you open your modeling environment, you only have 3 tabs that are available for you. It's all about getting data in there. Everything else is disabled, kind of communicating to the user what they need to focus on. Once they get the data in there, all the other options available for working with that data will be available. Other things like when I get my sales data in there from the internet, it's kind of logically related, but there's no relationship defined. And as a BI professional, I would know that I need to create a relationship. An Excel user would not know that. So what we do for them is all they do, get the data in, go to Excel, start building a pivot table. Once I add one of these unrelated fields to my report, we automatically detect that they're not related, detect the relationship it needed, we create a relationship, and voila, the data just kind of magically updates, and we build that relationship in the background for the user.
So since it's in Excel, does that imply that users will use PowerPivot for only smaller data sets?
No, actually on the contrary. What will happen is we use this column-oriented in-memory data store, which have a huge compression on the data. So we allow users to work with hundreds of millions of rows directly in Excel. And it's not just that they can get the data in there, it's really, really powerful to work with them where they can filter, sort, and it just instantly reflects in your working environment. So it's a really, really powerful compression technology.
Yeah, sounds very powerful. So where will these solutions live, and where is IT in all of this?
Well, so what will happen is once I've created my model and my solutions and I have all the reports that I kind of want to share, I can now go to SharePoint, or I can be directly in Excel and I can publish this solution to SharePoint. The instant I share it, 2 things happen. First of all, it becomes visible to my teammates and they can go share the solution, look at it, and slice and dice the data. But secondly, and probably more importantly, once I save it, the solution becomes visible for IT. Now they have a management dashboard which is driven by the Analysis Services service that run inside SharePoint. And they can go and see They can see all the different solutions that has been uploaded. They can see who are the users accessing them, what kind of data sources are involved. They can see what are the kind of long-running queries. And they can also see, let's say, I've built this model now, suddenly I have 400 users on it. Now IT can say, maybe it's time that we take that kind of built by an Excel user model and upgrade that to a real professionally built BI solution. So it's a really powerful tool, both for allowing the end users to build their own stuff, but also allowing IT to provision it, make sure it's secure, it's backed up, and it's accessible.
Wow, again, it sounds very powerful. We're very excited about PowerPivot for Excel. Julie, thank you so much for being with us today. Buck, I'll send it back to you.
That's great information, Erica. Thanks for that report. Well, join us next time on SQL Server News Hour. This is Buck Woody, your host, signing off.